Alright guys, so today I'm going to be doing a video about unboxing a Jordan 4 Snorlax. That's why I got the Snorlax colors on. So this is what it's called. It's Jordan 4, and it's a design that's based on the normal type Pokemon Snorlax. So it also happens to be my favorite Pokemon, so when I saw it, I knew I had to get it. The shoe's a little bit more unique than some of the normal stuff that Nike puts out, because this wasn't designed by Nike. This was actually designed by an individual who was kind of just, I guess what they say, inspired by the silhouette to come up with their own shoe. This guy's name is Andrew Chu, or Shio, and he just makes shoe designs. He has another design called Mecha Mewtwo, and he has another design called, I think, Shiny Charizard. Both of which I didn't really like as much, but I did like this one. It was my favorite Pokemon, so I went and I got it. I actually ended up finding some guy who was selling it on Reddit, and I negotiated with him for a little bit, and finally decided to make the purchase. It took a couple days to get in there, just because I had to poke him a couple times. He just was like not shipping it, so after negotiating my way out of that hostage situation, I was finally able to get the shoes, and once they shipped, it only took them like 2 or 3 days to get here. Now, they didn't come with the shoebox, which disappoints me a little bit, but you know, it's what you get for messing around with strangers on the internet. As you can see, this is what I pulled out and have been checking out. They look pretty cool. Up close, I don't like, you look at these two up close, you can really pick them apart and tear them down. I've put them on feet before, and they look pretty good on feet. So what a custom is it's when somebody takes the shoe silhouette and they use it kind of as like a canvas for their own type of art. So this guy, Andrew Shio, is taking the Jordan 4 and he's putting his own, I'm guessing what they did to make it is they washed it, which is where you're going to hit it with some chemicals to remove the color, and then you hit it with paint to put your own color on it. I don't know how in-depth he went with it. I mean, they're charging $1,700 for these. When they were available, they're completely sold out, so they might even be completely tearing these shoes down and then re-sewing it back together by hand. I'm not sure what the exact process is. I didn't look that much into it. But as you can tell, you know, what this means is that it's not a Nike design. It's not authorized by Nike or distributed by Nike. So what he has to do is he has to purchase genuine Nike shoes and then paint them and then resell them, which is technically legal under copyright, because once you buy something, you're allowed to do whatever you want with it, including paint on it and resell it, even if it's your own company and you don't give Nike $1. So, I mean, just taking them out of the box, I was a little disappointed that it didn't come with the box, because the box is cute and cool. It's got like a Snorlax, and part of the box, I mean, it's just, when you buy something and you get a box, it really helps. You know, they say first impressions are really important, and I think that applies to shoes as well. Definitely in this case. But yeah, even without this being associated with Snorlax, I really like the colors on it. I like the kind of like natural greens and beiges, the browns that come with it. It really reminds me of the stuff that Fear of God has been putting out for the last couple of years, where you've got kind of that avocado green and apricot and beige. And as you can tell, I have a lot of that in my wardrobe already, so I thought that this would be a really good matchup for the colors palette that I already have going on. As you can tell, the upper is mostly green and kind of off-green colors, almost like a bluish green. And then you can tell as you go down, it kind of goes from beige to then these more darker browns, kind of the colors of the forest. I don't know if you guys have seen the colors of Snorlax, but it definitely is a match. I think they totally missed out on an opportunity to put a giant fat Snorlax trying to do the Jumpman jump right here. Thought that would have been pretty funny. That's kind of just how where my mind goes. As you can tell, there's some scuffs on it, and that's not because this is a used shoe, but they actually naturally distressed these a little bit. That's part of the artistic message. I do like, though, that the artificial kind of like scuffing and stuff, it really shows an attention to detail that is really missing on Nike shoes. I think a lot of like what they've been presenting lately is very sterile. You know, even the idea with like the white Air Force Ones where it's like, oh, once you crease it, it's not what it's supposed to be. And I think that really takes like the shoes and makes them shelf shoes, which they are for a lot of people. Is they just end up staying on the shelves and they never get worn. It's not like Vans or like jeans where it's like once they get a little distressed, it's really when they're, you know, their best looking. And I kind of prefer that as a like a fashion motif, or especially the Jordan 4s. It's like such a sterile, you know, shoe, and it's cool in its own way. I definitely give it its own points for that. Definitely, you know, that whole fresh to death kind of 90s hip hop vibe of, you know, getting into a fight because somebody steps on your Jordans because now they're ruined. Which I think is where that kind of came from. You can kind of tell that the greens, it's almost like a blue-green. You got the suede, which is kind of somewhere between brown and beige. Once you look at these more closely, just don't look at them too closely. Definitely on feet, they're totally fine and passable. I'm wondering why this piece isn't green, though. Talk about how the netting is in the correct color, correct shape, pointing downwards at a 45-degree angle. It might be pointing down a little too sharp. I'm not an expert, though, not yet. It's got a brown on the bottom, and how it's got the, you know, forest colors of the green and the leaves and the blue from the sky kind of mixed in, and then it goes down towards more brown at the bottom and beiges. It's not too aggressive. I notice a lot of shoes will be too aggressive with like sharp reds and white and black, and the shoes will end up looking good alone, but once you combine them into an outfit, they almost command too much attention. Which I know that the shoes can be the anchor point of most outfits, but I don't think they have to be, you know, especially with how small a shoe is compared to the rest of your outfit. I don't think that it always demands to be the focal point. Which is part of probably where me and Nike disagree. Overall, though, the plastic on these is a little bit, they're pretty similar. There's a little bit sharper on the edges for the plastic. They're different colors. The lace holders are different colors on each side. Air unit looks good. Bottom looks good. You've got the Nike logo in brown. Go. You got both. Got our air unit. I would bet anybody it's not pressurized. And we've got our heel tab. And you can see the scuffing, of course, which I went over. I'll break that harshness of cutting from beige to brown. The nets look like maybe it's pointing a little bit too sharply down towards the base of the shoe, but it looks okay to me, especially compared with all this other stuff we have going on. Should I count the stars, make sure that they're all there? I actually have no idea how many stars there's supposed to be on these. Yeah, pretty